Before we kick off this team guide, then I quickly want to say, if you guys are looking for a football manager save to watch on YouTube, and typically more of a lower league management save, then I have one over on my channel where I take over Roma FC in Serie C, a save in which we're trying to overthrow Lazio and Roma for the champions of Rome and Italy. So if you want to go over there and check that out, it would be much appreciated. And if you do come to my videos from this channel, then let me know in any of the comment sections to any of the episodes. So without further ado, let's get right into this team guide. Hello everybody and welcome back to the FM Scout YouTube channel with me, Keepers, and today we're going to be doing a team guide on Paris FC. Now Paris FC are in the National League of France and it is a club with quite an interesting history. Now Paris FC was a club in itself quite a number of years ago, but they then merged with another club, I think it was Stade Saint-Germain, and they formed then Paris Saint-Germain, the one everyone knows today. But while Paris Saint-Germain first formed, there was I don't know the logistics of it, but what ended up happening was they ended up splitting off again and the new Paris FC was born, which is the one you see right now. So Paris FC, Stade Saint-Germain joined together to form PSG. PSG then split and formed Paris FC again, but PSG still remained the same. One of the agreements in the deal of the splitting off of the clubs was that Paris FC were to retain the rights of all the professional players, the stadium and the professional status in the top league in France. That therefore left the PSG we know today to go right down to the third division. And between then and now, the PSG we know have obviously rise to fame and are now champions of France. And Paris FC right here, you can see they did end up going all the way down to the national leagues, all the way down to the CFA Group B, up a little bit to national, and just teetered around national for the last about 10 years or so. So really it is a redemption kind of save to try and get back to where PSG are and try and overthrow them. And so looking at their finances, they're okay. You can see here they've got 1.1 million in the bank, currently making a loss of 1.4k a month. Transfer budget of 0, 70% of transfer revenue is given back to you in transfer budget, and they're currently spending a little bit over 1.75k over the wage budget. So that is something that you might want to address as soon as you become manager. In terms of affiliated clubs, you actually have a really good one in AS Monaco. This means that Monaco will be able to send players on loan to Paris FC and all the wages will be paid in full by AS Monaco. So in terms of the wage budget, you don't have to worry about getting loan players in because they're all paid for you anyway. So really you might want to rely a little bit on loan players from Monaco. Now in terms of staff, you have quite an in-depth staff already. They aren't fantastically amazing, but if you quickly went through it, reserve manager can go on tactics, whatever you made your guy want to do. I've got my guy on attacking so I can move it there. Assistant manager again is someone who likes to do tactics, but you might want to shift them about since you've already got one on tactics. Obviously you've got 2 goalkeeping coaches, which is fantastic, a fitness coach, 2 fitness coaches. So really all you need is a defending coach, another attacking coach, and maybe someone to do with ball control. It really just depends on what you put your manager's stats are at the start of the save. Obviously you might not do it as well as I've got mine right now, 16 attacking, 16 technical, but you do have a really good staff base there. But in terms of the scouting staff, we'll have a look. We have 3 scouts here. Manuel Tando, who currently has 9 player ability judging and 11 judging player potential. So 9 and 11. Other ones are 7 and 10. And then 10 and 8. So not the best. You could probably look into getting new scouts. But see here we do have the best judging player potential in the league and the best judging player ability. So you know what, maybe that is good for the league you're in. So looking at the team report, quickly going into the weaknesses, they could do with more players in the right midfield position. You can see here you've only got 1 right midfielder, but you've got 4 attacking right midfielders. A balance of £0, no flexibility in the transfer market, we've spoke about that, and we've already spoke about the fact that you do have £1.7 thousand over the wage budget. And you see here Romuald Mari is one of the few players of sufficient quality who can play right back, so better depth at right back. So you're really looking at right midfielder, right back, and the overall passing in the squad is really disappointing. But a good thing is you have more strengths and weaknesses. Mathieu Robel is one of the 3 players who can play left midfield. You can see here you've got 6 and you also have 7 strikers. I don't need that many strikers. Got a number of talented young prospects, we'll look at that soon. Your squad are really strong, they're aggressive and committed, so maybe an aggressive style of football, press higher up and, to get stuck in might be one that will help your team. Yeah, that's the kind of tactic you'd want to play. So good goalkeeper depth, you've got good defence depth, you've got a really good goalkeeper, a really good centre-back, Jean-Jacques Pierre, fantastic name. And as I said, you've got one of the best coaching teams in the competition and one of the best scouting teams. So, I mean, the backroom staff are all fine. You probably don't need to touch that. Don't need to touch centre-backs, don't need to touch goalkeepers. Looking at the under-19s, they are right. You do have a lot of players with some decent potential. Alexandre Vieira, I don't actually know if... Let's have a look at his information. Okay, it's not Patrick Vieira's son or anything, but he is an advanced playmaker. Pretty decent so far. 12 passing, 13 first touch. You can see let's highlight the key aspects of an advanced playmaker. 14 technique, 12 passing, 13 first touch. 14 vision, 13 flair. So, pretty decent advanced playmaker. You could probably develop him quite a bit. I don't know if he'd take you all the way to Ligue 1, but he is, as I said, one of the players with the highest potential. And as well as Alex Bamba, who's a centre-back. Again, his marking could be a little bit better, but he is only 16 years old from the Ivory Coast, so a lot of potential there as well. Only 16, so you can't really throw him in the first team, and he has a lot of room for growth. Looking even further, one of the not-so-good regen, Lukas Puri, again, centre mid, decent passing, decent technique, vision isn't the greatest, and Theo Godfroy, a goalkeeper, I wouldn't even bother looking into him, he doesn't look great whatsoever. Looking at the reserves, okay. You do have a goalkeeper who's 31. You could probably promote him to the first team. We've not had a look at the first team yet. And a couple more youngsters so you could maybe develop, but they don't look as promising as ones in the under-19s. But looking at your squad right now, you can see that's actually a really decent squad. The player that jumps out immediately is Abubakar Kamara, who is a striker. He's 21 years old, 3.5 star countability, 5-star potential. Really, really well-rounded overall. With 400k in a league like this, you can tell that he will be one of those players that will bang in goals all season long. Granted that you actually play him properly. Let's just go through all the players. 3-star goalkeeper, again, you have a 3-star goalkeeper in reserve as well. 33 years old, could maybe do you for the season. Let's just go by position. Your other better goalkeeper is Alexis Thaubo. Now, all your goalkeepers are over 30 years of age. Obviously, that's not too bad because goalkeepers generally do play for that long. But he seems like your first choice goalkeeper, could maybe last you 1 or 2 seasons. I'll probably say 1 if you do get promotion, because quickly looking at the league table, you are predicted to finish 2nd. So if you do get promoted, he can maybe last you just 1 season and you probably want to upgrade. Looking at, let's just go on to if we can find it. Yes, here we go. This is what we're looking for. This is be a lot better. So left back again, Bakayoko, 3-star left back. Could probably do you for the season, but you might want to maybe upgrade or get maybe a backup who has quite a lot of potential. And again, the centre backs, you've got 3 quality centre backs. Pierre, who they've spoke about, is one of the best players at the club. 35-year-old from Haiti. 13 tackling, 12 marking, 14 heading. Physicals are okay, they're not bad. Acceleration and pace aren't amazing, but his strength is outstanding. Will probably last you about a season before he maybe retires. Herve Libo, I'm not going to bother saying that name. Again, another maybe older centre back, 32 years old. 13 tackling, 13 marking, 14 heading. Physicals again, pace and acceleration aren't great, but balance and strength are pretty decent, and his mentals are very well rounded as well. Fredrik Bong, 28 years old, not the youngest either, but again, his physicals, very similar, poor pace, poor acceleration, but balance and heading are great, with solid tackling, marking and heading. We won't go through every single player now, because that will take a long time, but quickly looking, 3-star right back, 2.5-star right back, you maybe want to get an upgrade there. Quickly looking at him, okay, 28 years old, you could probably replace him, get a better one, and 31 years old, you might want to just ship him out immediately and sell him for a bit of money. Again, as he said, at right midfielder you only have 1 and he's not great at all. 2 centre mids of 3 stars. Robiel, oh, let's get off this, how do we move? Matthew Robiel, okay, 3.5-star, he's more of a left midfielder actually, so you definitely do want to get a centre mid. Pierazi, again, he's a defensive mid, so if you want to play defensive mid, then he could be your man, but that means you don't have anyone in centre mid apart from Gabesi, who again is a defensive mid. So no centre mids at all, you need them definitely. Left mid again, Robbie I've already spoke about, and Noman Janahari. Well, I suppose that's it. Okay, he's more of an attacking left midfielder rather than a left winger. He's more of a left winger than a left midfielder. And 2 strikers of Kamara and Nani Zayamo. Okay, that's not a target man, so you want to play counter-attacking football, he could be perfect. or Kamara, who we've already spoke about, could be one of the top goal scorers in the league, granted that you play him properly. But in terms of formation, I would go with something like this. Let's do a little quick pick quickly. Now, I've got this set up so I can see players' abilities and potentials. I'll have a fiddle about with the team, but this is the solid base formation I would go for, because you do have a defensive mid, but you should really get some better centre mids. Okay, so this is probably the base team that I would go for. You do have a lot of players you can play in a lot of different positions, like Laboy. You can put him in centre back, he's just as good as the rest of them. And obviously you have your youth players too. But in terms of a tactic, I'd go for something like this. Don't think that this is the perfect tactic for the team. I've just thought up of this on the spot. I've not tried it, I've not tested it. But these are the instructions. As I said, try and be a little bit more aggressive, because you do have good aggression in the team. So a much higher defensive line, close down a lot more, get stuck in and play it out of defence. Maybe that would work, I don't know, but definitely go for something round about this formation, because you do have a lot of defensive mid, so you may as well utilise it. So looking at the board confidence, they want you to win promotion of the league, reach the 9th round of the French Cup, and reach the 1st round of the Coupe de la Ligue. So you can see quickly Paris FC's overview. They've won 1 French Division 2 and 1 French CFA. So they've not got a very big trophy cabinet, true trophies, and they aren't the most prestigious, so you could be the manager that gets them to League 1 and possibly even win it. But other than that, there's actually not much else to go over. So this was the team guide for Paris FC. If you have enjoyed this, then obviously leave a like. Comment on if you're actually interested in taking this team on. But until the next episode, I've been Keepers. Do whatever you guys like to do. I'll see you on the next episode. And remember, find us keepers, losers, weepers.